Let's go. Yeah.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Friday, May 6th, 2011. I'm your host, Peter Bush. In the Phoenix Monitor today, we'll talk to Siphiwe Baleka. He's not just a darn good master swimmer. He has a very interesting story about what he does for a living, how he still manages to train, and how he's trying to help others do the same. Siphiwe Baleka joins us right now in the Phoenix Monitor from Cedar City, Utah. Siphiwe, thank you so much for joining us. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
All right, now first and foremost, you're at a truck stop in Cedar City, Utah because you're a trucker for a living, right?
Yes, that's correct. This morning, I woke up, I ran 3 miles. I've been driving for 200 miles, and I stopped at this truck stop here to take a little break.
Well, this is our first truck stop interview here on the Morning Swim Show, so we're very excited. Now, before we get back to the career, I want to point out you won. You're 40 years old. You won the 50 and the 100 freestyle, some pretty fast times, 22 flat, 48.4. You won your age group last weekend at the Masters Nationals here in Arizona. So, I mean, you're a heck of a swimmer, but I imagine you're on the road a ton, right?
Yeah, I just turned 40, April the 14th. I was just hoping to make the top 10, actually. Most of my seed times were between 11 and 20th, so I was just hoping to make the top 10. I had a good swim in the 100-yard breaststroke. I got third, but I pulled a groin muscle. So after the 100 breaststroke was the 50 free. I was in the second fastest heat for my age group, and I just had a good race, and I was totally surprised.
Well, and you got the patches on your shirt to prove it there, or the stickers right there as one falls off.
Yeah, I'm real proud of these.
Show them off when you're on the road. That's great. Wait, so
Yeah.
you won the 50 free with a pulled groin muscle?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, so you were just scratching the surface. There's more in the tank, so to speak.
Yeah, I ended up scratching the 100 IM the next day because I couldn't swim the breaststroke leg, and I was only able to swim freestyle after that.
All right, so how many days of the year would you say you are on the road?
This year I was on the road close to 320 days.
Wow. All right, so how in the world do you manage to stay in shape?
Well, I've been driving almost 3 years now, and when I first started to drive, I adopted the habits that most truck drivers have. You know, we're on the road, we're eating fast food all of the time, we're stressed out because we have to make deliveries, and I started to gain some weight, and I had never been out of shape in my entire life. So very early on when I started truck driving, I made a commitment that I would find at least 15 to 20 minutes every day to work out. I started doing just basically push-ups and sit-ups inside my truck or right on the side of my truck, stopping at rest areas to, you know, do squats and what have you. And it kind of took off from there. I started investing in fitness equipment. I got some resistance bands, kettlebells, even bought a fold-up mountain bike. And I think it was the winter last year, I decided, you know what, I wanted to get back into swimming. I have a wetsuit, and a lot of times when I'm driving, I'll stop at a state park and ride my bike, and started swimming some open water swimming. But eventually, what I started to do was anytime I had to make a delivery or pick up a load, I would get on my GPS, do a search for the local YMCA, give them a call to see if there was a place to park a truck near there. If not, if they were close within 5 or 10 miles, I'd ride my bike. And about 3 times a week, I would just stop at YMCAs across the country and swim about 3,000 yards and get a workout in.
Wow. Well, anyone watching this who's ever kind of tried to have the excuse that they don't have time to work out, well, Now we have disproven that theory. So good for you for finding creative ways with a very difficult job, which puts you on the road most of the year, for still doing it. That's great.
Thank you. It's a mindset. Whether you're at home and you've got children and you're working a 9-to-5 job, find time to work out in that situation. It's basically just a commitment. I realized that if I couldn't find 15 or 20 minutes, to keep myself healthy, then what am I really doing? And it just took off from there.
Hey, real quick, your connection's starting to get a little shaky. We understand it's Skype and you're at a truck stop in Utah. But before we let you go, I did want to ask, there's something called fitness trucking that you're trying to get going. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, it's a consulting company that I've started this year. It has two divisions. One division is to help what we call least fit truck drivers, those truck drivers who are overweight and want to learn how to get in shape, how to eat while you're on the road so that you can actually lose weight. And then my other division that I'm working on is a competitive division where we will help people that want to train and be able to compete while working as a truck driver. I'll show them how I did it and help them plan their workouts, plan the competitions, help them plan how to train while they're driving long haul. Well,
good for you, and congrats again on the great swimming. Siphiwe Baleka, before I go, what's the origin of that name? I'm just curious.
I spent some time in Africa. I lived there after college, and there's a tradition there that when you return home, the elders give you a new name. That was the name that I was given, and I wanted to honor my ancestors, so when I returned to the United States, I had changed my name.
Wow. What was your name before that? What was your birth name?
When I competed in college, people knew me as Tony Blake. I swam at Yale University, and that was over 18 years ago.
Huh. Well, very cool. Like the new name. Thanks again.
Thank you, Peter.
All right. Interesting guy joining us. Well, that's it for today's show. I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish.